What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor Lewis. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all the reality TV tea, but it's always going to be what you want, and it's always going to be what you need. And baby, we are back with another Bellecollective Season 6, Episode 3 recap, baby. The episode was called It Goes Down in the DMs, and child, it was going down on this episode, so we're going to go ahead and dive on into it. But before we do that, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with the family members, share with the friends so we can grow our community over here. Y'all, my birthday is coming up this week. Super excited about that. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. So, episode opens up with Latrice at Taste, and she's on the phone with Selena because Selena was supposedly meeting her and some of her girlfriends at Taste, and Selena couldn't make it because Sky is having her baby. So, Selena is about to be a grandmother again to a beautiful baby, and Sky is actively in the hospital about to have this baby. So, while she's on FaceTime with Selena, who do we see walk in? Baby, Big Money Marie, Big Body Benz Marie. And let's go ahead and talk about it, because I talked about it down on the TikTok. We're going to talk about it here. Listen, Marie, Miss Body Goddess, the blueprint, baby, the BBL queen, allegedly, all natural, according to her. Marie, we're going to need some new bodysuits, because these bodysuits with the chap boot number, you got to let that spirit go. You're going to have to let that spirit go, Marie. Every episode, we done seen you with that same variation, probably several times an episode, with that some type of bodysuit chap bustier combo. We need to, Marie, you got to cut that out. I don't know who you cut a deal with. I don't know if you was dancing with the devil, baby, or dancing with Shin. Either way, you need to, please go away from us with this. We done seen this too much. Marie, we 3 episodes in, we done seen 10 variations of this. Enough is enough, girl. We love you. We support you. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you win. But we don't want to see you win in that outfit. Give us something else. Give us powerful pantsuit. Give us, Christian dance, mom's outfit or something. Give us something like that. You got you a body. Your body be bodying. But you ain't got a body all the time. Your body can rest. There are 7 days of the week, and Sunday is supposed to be the day of rest. The Lord said we need to rest on that day. He might give you an extra day because you giving us so much body. He said, you know what, Marie? We're gonna add an extra day just for you. You take your extra day to just rest. Just rest, Marie. You see how I pause? Rest. That's what you need to do. You need to lay them bodysuits to rest. Please. Please, 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 don't put them bodysuits on no more for the rest of the season. All right. But anyway, Marie arrives, and she looks amazing. Well, she looks good. She looks really, really good. But it's so good to see that her and Latrice are in a good place. I really, really enjoy this place that they're in. I hope that they stay in this place. Something tells me the way this episode ends, there is going to be a shift in that dynamic. But, hey, it is what it is. But, they catch up, and, Marie is like, I just been spending time with my man. And Latrice is like, girl, which one? Because, girl, we confused. We don't know which man you talking about on this very day. So she's talking about, me and Cedric, we really trying to make it work. And it's good. Marie looks happy. Happiness looks good on Marie. So we happy for her. If she happy, we happy. I don't know how I felt about Cedric and her getting back together, but we happy for him. So we happy. All right. So we also see in this scene, Amanda comes in. So Mandy comes in, and Marie said, what in the Beetlejuice is going on with her outfit? Now, Marie, you've been coming for people outfits a lot this season. And that's all right, because normally I feel like you get it right. And you do. And let me say this about Marie. Marie looks good. She do be looking good. It's just some of her outfits are just choices, but she looks good. She looks good. Amanda, you did look like Beetlejuice. Girl, that outfit was confusing me. I'm sitting here looking like, I had looked down to take a note, and I look up, I said, wait, where is her head supposed to be in this outfit? I think where they messed up, they shouldn't have put a hole on the shirt that was on this side. The shirt that was here was fine, but you had more adornments on the shoulder piece side, and they should have minimized that a little bit and just gave you a little bit more centerfold. That's what they should have done. But you looked good. She's a pretty girl too. All of the ladies on Bellecollective are absolutely beautiful. So yeah. Now, Amanda joins them, and when they were talking, Amanda was saying, she was surprised to see Marie there because of how she treated her friend at the reunion. Now, I like Amanda. I think Amanda's cool. Let me say I like her. She cool. The thing with Amanda is she's doing a little too much, in my opinion. She's doing just a little bit too much. Like, girl, we understand. We get it that Latrice is your friend. And she doing what you should do. Ride for your friend. But you don't got to bring it up every time because you are coming off like Latrice's mouthpiece. And Latrice, this is going to get you in trouble. We're going to talk about it at the end. Because Amanda is speaking up too much for you or defending you too much. And she has her own agenda. So it makes it seem like it's your agenda as well. So you and Amanda need to figure out what that balance is going to be because she's doing just a tad bit too much, especially when we get to the end of this episode. But, they catch up. But Latrice is inviting the ladies to her pool party that she's going to have. And it's really cool. I think the pool party is a great idea for the ladies to just get to know each other. But the thing is, she said, it's couples. So you got to bring you a partner in order for you to go to this party. She not inviting Tambra, though, because she said Tambra's man ain't gonna come no way. Here's the thing with Tambra. Girl, we really do not be seeing you. It's like we are lucky if we get a scene with Tambra in an episode. We didn't get anything from her this episode. I don't think we got anything from her on the first episode. Well, no, we did. We've seen her like in and out. But it's very, very, very sparse that we are seeing Tambra. So, girl, I don't know if you are like slowly making your exit or what's going on with you, but we could use a little bit more Tambra. I'm just saying. We could use a little bit more. But yeah, I'm really excited for this party. But child, it's going to be a mess. Now, after that, we see Letitia and she's meeting up with Carrie for them to go work out. They're doing some dance workouts. So she gets there, they catching up. We meet Amber Ray, which is, I think she's an influencer from Mississippi. I don't know if she's from Mississippi, but I think she does live in Mississippi. I'm not too familiar with her. Beautiful though. Like I say, every woman on the screen is stunning. But she looks good. And Carrie also invited Marie. I was shocked. I was really, really, really shocked. Marie, Carrie said that she was going to extend the olive branch. I love to see that. Like I said, Carrie is doing what you are supposed to do when you are a new person on a reality TV show that is already existing. When you are entering in an existing group, Carrie is a prime example of what to do. Who are some others? Carrie's doing a great job of that. Angela Oakley did a great job. Kelly did a great job. I'm talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta girls. Potomac. I think Tia is doing a great job. Honestly, a lot of these new girls that we're getting on all of the reality shows across the board are doing a great job. So casting from everything, y'all are doing great. So love that. But Carrie is inviting Marie there. She is extending that olive branch because she's like, listen, we had some fun shade. It ain't that deep between me and her. Marie shows up and embraces her as well. And I love the fact that both of the ladies are like, listen, it wasn't that deep. Me and the girl can be cool. I think she's fun. They enjoy each other. And I'm looking to see that friendship blossom as well. Although I do kind of like it when they go back and forth because the shade do be funny and it be good. So I live for it. So, Marie kind of gets into Carrie's business a little bit after they do their workout. And Carrie just it's kind of weird how they broke up that scene because it's like they talked about it, but they didn't go in depth. But the next scene, we really kind of get into like Carrie's business and more of Carrie's storyline. So let's just go ahead and go over that. So we dive into Carrie's storyline. So Carrie owns 3 brick and spoons. She owns 3 of them, one in Gulfport, one in Biloxi, and one in Mobile. So that alone, right? For somebody who's not from the area, the Biloxi and Gulfport one aren't too far, right? That's about 10-15 minutes from each other. But the Mobile one could possibly be like an hour. So her having to travel across the coastline to go there, then her having to travel up to Jackson to be a part of the show, which Jackson can take you 2 to 3 hours from the coast. So that's a lot of driving. And, she's stretching herself thin. She's a businesswoman. She's a boss. But, she is also having to juggle being a mom and being a wife. And she lets us in on that, which I enjoy as well. So her husband, Matt, arrives. They start talking about things. I didn't realize that they've been together since they were high school sweethearts. Like, I don't know them like that. Like, I've seen them and I've known their restaurant, so I'm kind of familiar with them. Like I said, I don't know them at all. I think they're cool people, though, from what I'm seeing. But Didn't realize that they've been together since high school. So that's a beautiful thing. But, you know, when you have been with somebody that long, you have to work even harder because you have to think about it. You've been with this person since, they said, like 15, 16. Who you were at that point versus who you are now as an adult, and you're a businesswoman. You are a boss. You have multiple things, and you're trying to juggle all of those things, and you're trying to take care of your children. You're trying to make sure your other businesses that you want to do are thriving. It's a lot to have to juggle. And she gets emotional talking to her husband about that and prioritizing those things, prioritizing family, and making sure that she's checking in with him to make sure that he's good, to make sure she's doing her wifely duties. And I feel for women sometimes in those spaces because men are allowed to do a lot of the things that these women are doing on this show, but they get when men do it, it's fine. When women do it, sometimes there's a problem. And I'm not saying that her partner is saying that at all. I'm not speaking on them. I'm just speaking in general. Just the way that women sometimes are perceived in those spaces, my heart goes to you because y'all should be able to have all the things. Like, I feel like the world wouldn't be what the world is if it wasn't for women. So shout out to the women. Shout out to the gays as well, baby. But no, really, shout out to the women for doing everything that you're doing. And shout out to Carrie for being a phenomenal wife, a phenomenal mother, and a phenomenal business owner. And inspiration to a lot of people. So, girl, kudos to you. Thank you for letting us in. You know, you got emotional, and that was a beautiful thing. So, give yourself grace. Hopefully, your husband is giving you grace as well because you are doing an amazing job. So, if no one told you today, girl, you're doing amazing. Now, after that scene, we see Letitia, and she's setting up for the kind of couples event between her and Glenn and Selena and her partner. Really, really like this scene as well. The exercises that they were doing to kind of strengthen their bond as a couple or to test their bond as a couple were really, really great. Those are things that you can do for any type of team. Whatever type of relationship it is, if you are having issues with communication or teamwork or whatever, those are great exercises to do. When Selena, and I think his name is Matt. No, Carrie's husband is Matt. I think his name is, Mike. Mike is his name, I think. Anyway, that's what we're going to go with because I can't remember. When they had the exercise where they were facing each other and she had to just basically tell him how she felt. I love that exercise. But also to Selena, I'm going to say this to you. Selena, you have to go to therapy to work through your trauma. You got to go to therapy and work through your trauma. And here's why. I get where you're coming from. You know, you had the unfortunate situation with your son. You know, you spoke to him on the phone. He was supposed to be going somewhere and you never heard from him again, unfortunately. My heart goes out to you. The way you are processing your trauma is you are basically projecting your trauma on everybody else. Yes, your partner should check in with you, or if you call him, he should be able to answer. But Selena, there might be some moments where he's in a situation where he can't answer. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on. But he might not be able to answer or respond to you in the moment that you are needing him to. And you have to work through that. Those are some things that you're going to have to work and get comfortable with because you don't want it to seem like you're hovering or you're parenting him. He should still be able to have a life. And I'm not saying that to do anything wrong. And I don't think she's doing anything wrong. It's just sometimes us, when we are processing trauma comes up in different ways and we don't necessarily realize it or how it impacts other people or how we can project it onto other people. And it kind of sometimes looks like you are projecting your trauma on him because of the pain and the hurt that you've gone through with the loss of your son, unfortunately. So I think you should really sit and unpack what, you know what it is, but just unpack that to help you cope in those moments if there's a situation where he's not able to answer the phone immediately. He could be driving, because I think he's a truck driver. He could be driving through an area, girl, and he has no service. He can't answer. So putting mechanisms in place to make sure that you're okay during those moments is something that I really want you to work on. So hopefully you are working with a therapist or working with somebody to help you through those times. Because the situation and the exercise ended beautifully. I think it was a great exercise, and I feel like they made some great ground there. But yeah, I definitely think she should talk to somebody about that. All right. Now after that, we pull up to Selena's all-white party. So Selena is having this all-white party in honor of her son. And she has a panel of just people talking about grief People talking about how they are processing that, and just talking about their experiences of losing loved ones, whether it's a grandparent, whether it is a son, a spouse, whatever. So these different people are speaking on their experiences. And I think that the event was a beautiful event. It was heartwarming. It's touching. I feel like I'm getting a little emotional thinking about some of the things. And I loved it. I love the event. I think it was a great event. And we saw so many different moments of just heart-tugging emotion from so many different people. Latrice losing both of her brothers so close together. Girl, my heart goes out to you. And the thing that I loved about Latrice is she was so vulnerable on that stage. And this is why I like Latrice. She was so vulnerable on that stage. And when she was talking about, my husband sometimes, she said, like when I call him, he doesn't answer. She said, it's not that I think that he's out with a woman. I think that he's doing something. It's sometimes a little triggering for me because of what happened with my brothers. So I'm glad that Cliff, because, sometimes Cliff just don't be having it. But to hear him say, you know what, I could do a better job. I hear my wife, I know she don't think I'm out here doing anything, but I could do a better job to show up for her. Because I didn't realize that she was going these things, but I hear her, I heard her, I'm going to do a better job. That was good for Cliff to say. I have not seen Cliff show up like that. I don't know if ever, but that was really, really nice to see Cliff show a little bit of softer side, because Cliff is a funny man. He a toxic man, allegedly. Could be, probably. Yes, but that moment was really, really nice to see a different side of Cliff, because I really don't feel like we get that from Cliff at all. So that was great to see. But then even after that, Carrie talked about the loss of her father-in-law, that they're dealing with that. This episode was deep, man. They had some deep moments. Baby, we're breaking down left and right. Baby, I'm over here trying to do this review and I'm finna break down myself. Baby, we need to, let's talk about Marie bodysuit again, baby. Let's talk about the bodysuit. Bring that bodysuit back. Now at the event, let's talk about some looks. Everybody looked good. I think everybody did a wonderful job. Marie did not have on a bodysuit. She had on a blazer, sequined, with a short. I liked it. It was nice. Carrie and Matt, baby, they had it on. Best dressed couple, hands down. They had it going on. Latrice and Cliff, they looked it nice. Cliff was age appropriate. Latrice was age appropriate as well. Both two ends of the spectrum. Marie and Sid, they were dressed nice. But hear me out here. Said they were dressed for the same event, but at different times. Marie's was business on the top, party at the bottom, and Cedric was really black tie, all black affair, but in white. All white affair, if you would, but real, real high class, real 50th, high school reunion. It was giving that. That's what it was giving me, Said. You looked it nice. You did. Said was dressed what? If my daddy was I'm finna go put it on, that's what Said had on. So that's what I'm trying to say. Said was dressed like a daddy. That's it. A good Mississippi daddy. I almost said the N-word. I'm not gonna do that on here. But Said is dressed like a good Mississippi man. There we go. All right. Back to our regular schedule program here. Back to the list. So, everybody speaks on, their different thing. Marie said this, and she said, I don't think I've seen the collective like this, unified or this positive, ever. And I don't know if I've really seen them, I've never seen the women like that, connected with each other. That was a good event. Selena, you did that. That was a great event. Only thing that I have for the event, y'all, we got to stop releasing balloons. Y'all need to get lanterns. Releasing balloons is not good for the environment, y'all. We need to release lanterns. If you're going to do a release, do lanterns. Don't do balloons. It's just healthier for the environment. But that's it. That's the only note that I have for the event. It was really, really beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Now for the main attraction, baby. This is what we are here to talk about. Baby, the pool party. Let me tell y'all something about Latrice's house. That's a bad house, baby. That girl house... Latrice got some good taste. You got him not in men, but she got a good taste on the home, clothing, hair. nails, shoes, purses, everything. She got some taste on some things, but not men. But everybody looked good at the pool party as well. Now listen, baby, the bodies were bodying. And I gotta tell y'all, I knew Selena had a body, but Selena, when Selena got there, I said, hold on, not Selena, what? Selena. All right. Selena, you got it, girl. Selena, you had it going on. Selena body is nice. Selena, baby, let me tell you something, Selena. You got it going on. That body was T. Selena, body, Selena. I thought it was Marie. I'm sorry, Marie. You know I love you down, but I got to put Selena up there at the top, baby. Selena looked it good. She looked it really, really good. Carrie looked it good. She was classy. Carrie had said, listen, my mama taught me, baby, you want to be dressed for where you go and go. You want people to know you for everything. We dressing classy. That's how my mama raised me too, Carrie. We dress classy. You don't go out there with everything with your boom booms and your boom booms out. You keep it classy. You keep it covered up. You keep it blessed. See, if I'd have been out there, I would have started handing out prayer cloths because there was a lot of women that had too much out. They had too much out there. So, we're going to keep them prayed up. But they looked good. They looked good. Now, I was shocked. When Essie had walked in the building with her husband, I didn't know Essie was married. I thought Essie was more suited for, how can I say, lesbian-ish. That's what Essie I always kind of thought. And no shade to Essie. Essie, your husband is very handsome. You are a beautiful woman as well. I don't know why I just always thought that you and even Amanda. Amanda was like, oh, Essie, I thought, girl, I thought you was with Marie. Now, I knew she wasn't with Marie because Marie had two men, but I thought Essie was with a woman. But you know what, Essie, that ain't my business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You looked good, girl. You looked beautiful as well. Now, Letitia gets there, baby. And it's like when Letitia got there, baby, that's when it got started. Letitia got there. Amanda, was greeting them. Everybody's greeting Letitia. And it was fine when she met Letitia, but when she went to Glenn, it seemed a little awkward, right? And this is one thing I'm going to say about this. Glenn, if you did message her and you know that she's like involved in the group like she is, to me that is mind blowing. Like why you would do that, I have no idea because that is crazy. But so they get to the playing of the games. So they was over here playing games. And some of the games, baby, was not classy based. Some of these games were real. I was shocked. I was appalled. I was in tears almost because, I thought it was a white refrigerator in that child, the way some of these questions was being asked. Where's the freakiest place she done did it? First of all, they ain't none of y'all business where I done it at. But I'm glad that y'all told me what y'all have. Y'all is freaks. Oh my God. Marie talking about some, they was driving down the highway. Marie, how y'all put all that rump? And he was able to drive the steering wheel. I don't know, Marie. Something about that just ain't sounding right. Because you got a lot of body. And for him to be able to drive the car, handle the stick shift and the body, Marie, that's a lot going on. Now, I don't know, Marie. Now, some of that might not sound like you being honest. I don't know. But I ain't going to give you too much because I like you, girl. But it really got messy with that question talking about some. Now, who in the group, do you find anybody in the group attractive? That's not an appropriate question that you ask a group of married people. That is 100% not a question that you would ask a group of married people. And Latrice, this is where I got to give you some because you knew the information with Amanda, right? So you knew that. You knew Amanda was going to be at this event. You knew Glendale, as I like to say, Glendale was going to be at this event. And you knew Letitia was going to be at this event. You were being messy. And this is where I feel like Letitia was set up because you knew that. You should have never asked that question. That question was not appropriate. And when the question was asked, everybody said, no, and then Mandy was like, oh, he lying. And I'm with Letitia. I'm looking at you like, well, hold on, girl. What you mean he lying? Like, what's going on? And then, everybody's like, oh, next question. No. We're going to sit on this one here. We ain't moving to no next question because why are you saying that my man is lying about that? What, did my man slide in your DMs? What's going on? And then, they go outside and they talk about it. And the thing that kind of got me with that situation was, Mandy, you kind of got quiet and that wasn't cool. You should have just stood 10 toes down in it. That's the thing. If you're going to say stand 10 toes down in it, mean what you say, and stand up in it, girl, and then move on to the next thing. That's what you should have did. So when y'all go outside, your old lady that's inside that you brought, her and Glendale about to get into it. Now, Glenn, you ain't have to get up on that lady. I know your eyes might have been confused. You might have been confused. You might have thought that was a man over there, but that wasn't Glenn. I ain't being shady. You probably just, liquor was flowing. You probably was like, man, hey, why the old dude coming at me like this? That was a lady. Okay? And you should treat her like as such. Okay? Anywho. So, when Mandy and her out there talking, and Letitia is like, look, girl, me and you was cool. We see each other. We slap five. We have a good time. And then Mandy was like, well, I ain't like the way that you and y'all did my girl at the reunion. So that's what this is about? That's what all this is about? And see, Latrice, once again, it seems like you set Mandy up. You like, you know what? I'm cool with them, but I'm going to get my lick back. That's how it's coming off, Latrice. It's coming off like you trying to get your lick back, but you're doing it in a passive-aggressive way. You're doing it through your friend. I get what you're saying on the confessionals. I get what you're saying on the side part. I get all of that. But you knew about this event and you knew this was going to happen. So I do feel like Letitia was set up in this. I do feel like Latrice, you could have did a better job handling that situation with Letitia. Y'all should have had a dinner where y'all sat that girl aside, you, her, and Mandy. Especially if y'all is as cool as she's making it seem. Y'all should have had a dinner with that girl and y'all should have had a conversation like, hey, look, I know this has happened. This is what's going on. Your man slid my DMs. Let her see it. Let her do what she want to do with that information. And then y'all move on to the next thing. Now, if y'all would have did that, she still would have showed up with him. And then Mandy would have did this whole situation. I probably would have been looking at it a little bit different. But for y'all to set that lady up the way y'all did, that wasn't cool. And I already know it's going to be some fallout this season because of how y'all did that situation. And Latrice, you're going to have to own your part in it. And that's where the episode ends, y'all. I'm so ready for this next episode so we can get into it and we can figure out what's going on. Glendale, did you slide in the DMs? Because the people are saying you did. I wasn't there and I wasn't in the DMs. But I would love to see and I can't wait to find out. So, listen, y'all. Next episode might be a little delayed because it's going to come out on my birthday and I plan on being out here in these streets. But definitely ready to get into the next episode. We have Real Housewives of Potomac that'll be dropping Sunday, Monday-ish. And then we're going to continue to get into the pieces. But I appreciate y'all so much for being on this journey with me. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with a family member, share with a friend. And we're going to continue this journey. But until next time, I'll see y'all later.